Back to the Sunday Business Page.
Summer seems to have melted away, and it's time to go back to school. Pittsburgh Public Schools will start tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, but many districts already back in the classrooms. Retailers certainly hope that the back-to-school shopping season provides a jolt to our economy. This year, though, they're not so sure. One survey by American Express shows that consumers are being cautious, estimated to spend 4% less on back-to-school items, including clothes, than they did in 2000. A separate survey by the National Retail Federation says back-to-school shopping could be as much as 17% lower than it was a year ago. Dr. Audrey Gusky is back with us this morning on the Sunday Business Page as we talk about it. Associate Professor of Marketing at Duquesne University's Palumbo Donahue Graduate School of Business. Welcome back.
Great to be here, Rick. Thanks for having me.
These numbers are scary. I mean, when you're saying 4% down, okay, from a year ago, that's not that big. 4% down from 13 years ago is a big reduction. Why?
Well, the problem is with the economy. Everyone is concerned. And when you look at that, typically sales would increase on average 2 to 3% from the previous year. So when you've got a dipping almost 17% from last year, it's huge. It's extremely scary. And retailers did everything they could possibly do to get us in the stores. And we were shopping sooner. A lot of families started 2 months ago trying to get all the back to school stuff. So it's very frightening, and you know, it's the economy. People are concerned about healthcare costs. Our disposable income has gone down. We're concerned about the future.
But we keep hearing about how the economy is improving, how it's better, that these numbers look good, but retail still is lagging behind, is it not?
Exactly, and the problem is the consumer market really leads the economy. So if the consumers aren't believing the news that the economy is getting better and they're cutting back, the economy, it's going to be a vicious cycle. It's going to keep going down. And as a result, I mean, Christmas is, in a sense, around the corner. And if you want to look at some comparisons, Christmas sales are about $580 billion. Back to school is $72 billion. The second biggest shopping season. Mother's Day is $21 billion. So you can see the big jump. So back to school season is extremely important and a huge indicator of the Christmas season, which is really, in a sense, the make or break season for retailers.
And back to school has become more than simply office supply shopping, right?
Absolutely.
This is not just paper and pencils and backpacks. There is so much more that gets lumped into back to school as being a season, yes?
Absolutely, it is a season. It starts pretty much 2 months before school and all the way up until Labor Day. So it's about half of the summer. Now, you know, we're buying apparel for the kids, spending about $200 on that. We're buying electronic types of things, maybe $200 for that. You need shoes, on average $100 for shoes, and then the back to school supplies, $100. Now, so the average family is spending about $635, the average household that has children of school age.
If you have 2 kids, 3 kids, that's an average regardless of the number of children.
That is correct.
Not per child.
Yes. Now, if you have a college kid, that's different because the average then is a couple $100 more, about $835. And what we found very interesting this year is retailers were really pushing for the college kids because they figured they're the ones with a little bit more money. They need to supply the dorm rooms and they need a lot more.
They may have had a job and put some of their own money into mom and dad's budget to help.
Hopefully they did. Even though the average is only $44 for a teenager helping out, which I thought was a little bit small. But what another interesting statistic we found is that only half of the students, college students, are living at home. That's huge. So half of every college student, they're living at home. Only 25% living in the dorms and 25% off-campus living. So that is, once again,
but that number also suggests that people are trying to cut back on college expenses. If I don't have my room portion of the room and board tuition equation, that makes a huge difference in your bottom line.
Sometimes it could cut it almost in half, the amount of the college. And a lot of students are finding they'll go to a community college for a couple years and then transfer to a 4-year program. So there's a lot of ways families are trying to cut back. They're reusing things, the hand-me-downs. Remember the hand-me-downs when we were growing up?
Absolutely.
We all grew up with that. Well,
my sister hated wearing my clothes.
But I bet she looked cute in it.
Well, but it really has been. For a lot of families, that's the reality.
Absolutely.
The only way you get through is to share nice, clean things.
Or consignment stores or resale shops. You know, and so families are shopping more discount types of stores. So everything they possibly could. They may splurge on one thing, maybe get a fancy pair of jeans for their daughter, but then they're going to cut back on everything else, school supplies and electronics.
We've talked in the past about how some people will wait, that they figure, okay, the season has run through its course, now the big sales on everything that's left over, I'll wait until September the 5th to buy my things. Still valid?
Smart move, absolutely smart move. If you want to get get a straight A, getting your kids to school, that's what you want to do. Now, unfortunately, a lot of parents may have done their shopping already, but you don't know what the kids are going to be wearing. What are the trends as far as fashion? So you wait till they get back. You buy a couple of outfits, and then you wait. The school supplies, a lot of schools, very interestingly, would contact, Walmart was big at this. You would go to Walmart website, and you could track down a school district, and they would tell you exactly what.
Here's your list of supplies that you need. Absolutely.
But my advice to parents is always wait. Wait, because, you know, come after Labor Day, things are going to be cut significantly.
What about these notions? I know West Virginia did this for years, that they would have a tax-free holiday, that during that back to school, and the idea was we're going to stimulate the economy by saying there will not be sales tax charged to this category of items, anything that would be back to school. Does it work? Does it not work? Does it make a difference in terms of getting the economy rolling?
Well, it helps a little bit. I mean, you know, a lot of people wait to buy their computers and their big ticket items because if there's a no tax holiday, then they could take advantage of that. So it saves a little bit of money, and it kicks some people into buying things that maybe they would have waited or not bought at all. But in reality, it's just a little drop in the bucket compared to what we really need. Because once again, getting back to the initial statistic we talked about, with sales decreasing by 17% over last year, for retailers, it's a huge nightmare, and it's a failing grade for them because they did everything they could to get us in the stores and shop, and we just didn't.
Is online a portion of it?
Online is a portion, of course. People do a lot of online shopping, can save some money, but with kids and trying on clothes and making sure it fits, most of the back-to-school shopping, unlike Christmas, is really in the stores, the brick-and-mortar stores.
You got to try it on because you don't want to send it back. And
you want to see what the color looks like, and, you know, does it look good on me? You know, all the kids want to make sure that they look hot and cool in school.
Very good, Audrey. Thanks so much for sharing.
Thank you. Always great to be here.
We appreciate it. Dr. Audrey Gusky talking to us about what's going on when it comes to the back-to-school season. When we come back, PNC continues to be recognized for its commitment to green buildings. Has nothing to do with banking, and we'll explain why that green is so important to them when we come back.